Ori, are you pretend politics?
So,
You mean she?
what happened last time?
We killed Claw's dad.
We did not kill him.
No, he lived.
Come
We
alive.
He
assaulted
lived.
Claw's dad.
We had a big fight. He 300 kicked me off the edge, but luckily Brack casted Featherfall on me. We beat up some gravity mages as well. Wick almost got sucked into a black hole. And then we took him back to base for some questioning. And we got hungry and took a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cool fucking thingy of spells. I got
yeah,
that.
and our little resident Fey boy almost got blown up by the gunblade from Dad, but he's okay.
I live, bitch.
Exactly.
Oh right, you weren't here.
Yeah. Yeah, Sirius missed
said-
almost getting chopped in half by Claw's dad.
He was
Look,
chopped
he-
up, but he said, "I've had worse."
This ain't shit compared to getting disintegrated. But, as you guys spend the rest of the day kind of resting up, recuperating, cleaning your wounds, what have you, the day eventually turns into night, and the slow kind of royal of the battle in the city continues on into the din of the night before kind of wrapping up around midnight for Wick and Emer, who do not sleep and so are conscious of it. But you guys wake up so you can hit that long rest button.
Yay!
Yeah.
Long rest these nuts in your mouth. I'm sorry.
Buddy, buddy.
Every time. Every
I'm so sorry. This is the first time I've been so
You're not
awake.
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no,
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 you're
no.
not.
This is the first time I've been so awake when the start of session, you know? So I'm fucking ready to go. Usually I'm only half awake at this stage.
Oh, I should hit that for Frack since he's not here. Beautiful. When you all awaken, Emer and Wick, you would have noticed kind of Brack leaving in the early morning hours, but that's regular for him. He's always up early training. But as the rest of you come to, there is a note that has been left behind from Vrack that illuminates that he has left early in the morning to help with the kind of recovery and cleaning operations in the city to kind of help people recover and all that. But by and large, the day is mostly to yourselves. The camp is thrumming with life this early in the morning as soldiers kind of creaky and worn bones kind of rattle as they pull themselves across the camp to get the morning's gruel from the quartermasters. And kind of the scope of it may have been lost initially in just the words of all the people that have been assembled for this, but seeing the diversity of the camp is certainly a little jarring. Just in its scale, the number of different peoples, because of course there are the kind of dark blue clad soldiers of the March Concord and their outfits carrying halberds, firearms of various make, armed and armored. But you also have the dwarves of Tharsis from down on Lake Tharsis with their burgundy tabards, hammers and the like. You have the Liang and their various fanciful looking robes kind of scattered about. You have wide varieties of different kinds of fae from the Somerset Grove, both those from the Western Court and those from various other courts. It is truly diverse. You would struggle to find a more diverse place in all of Herat. But what would you guys like to do?
Well, there's only one thing on Wick's mind right now. He wants to get into that tank that we took off of Claw's dad and see what the fuck Morty has been cooking.
Absolutely. So you will be spending a few hours to kind of piece that apart. While he is doing that, what is everybody else up to?
I mean, if Chipper wants something to do, Claw will come with.
I mean, I have a deep-seated need for magical ink at the moment. Like, it is painful how much I need
We
magical.
probably looted like entire casks of it from the fucking
I
tower.
actually, well,
Yeah, I
you
gave-
say that.
I gave
No,
you,
I've noted down
yeah.
how much that actually gave me, and that is not enough. That's what I'm telling you right now. It was like,
What?
yeah, there was only 450 something, and I'm at 790, and that's not even close to the amount that I'm gonna need. So,
That you're gonna need for what?
All the new spells that she just.
all the new ninth level
access to.
spells that I'm about
Platoon.
to take off of this book.
Of course, bear in mind, 450 is enough for a 9th level spell, so...
Yes,
Chipper
but
is really cooking.
there's like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 3 though.
You will recall the night before that Emer was listening to your plight about ink, and she had offered to go into the tower for you as well.
I've already the whole tower is looted of ink though. There is no more ink in that tower. I have scavenged all of it. But the list is currently 3 9th level spells, 2 8th level spells, 1 7th level spell, 1 6th level, 1 4th level, 2 3rd level, and 1 1st level spell that I want. So I'm gonna need fucking all the ink in the world. So I don't know how I'm going to scavenge all of that, but that's priority numero uno for Chipper.
If the tower is empty and there's no more ink in the tower, I think that's the only sort of landmark that's around, so
Yeah.
unless we could
I think if
ask the Gravitarches if they had anything like that. Like the ones that weren't in the tower that we, obviously, like they might have some ink on them or something. Other than that, if there are any settlements nearby that we could fly to and...
Yeah, see, that was more of what I was thinking. If there were any, you know, if there's a wizard college here, there has to be like, you know how there's like college towns and then there's like frat towns around the college, you know? I'm
No.
hoping to raid the Graviturgist frat boys and yoink them of all their fucking magical ink. That's what I want, Matt.
Okay, well,
Okay.
there is the Grand Library of Stavarios, which kind of also serves the purposes of the college.
Wait, hang on. Nikki has touched upon something I feel we need to dig into here. What the fuck would the animal house of the Graviturgist College be called?
Oh,
We need to know what the dean yells every day.
Yes, Matt. That's I need to know about your deep lore of this world that you've slaved over for many years.
let's see. What would a frat house for people who can create black holes be?
Relativity house?
Mensa?
Mensa's cool.
That was a joke. No, I don't fucking know. Fraternities
Alright.
aren't like a big thing for wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
nerds, not.
Yeah, they probably have D&D groups before they had a frat house. All right. What check would you like for me to, you know, be a hunting dog for
Well,
magical ink?
If you are going to go and scour
The library.
the Grand Library, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I can do that for you.
Are there any like remnants of like where is the library compared to the Stavarios?
It is right in the core by the tower.
So when going along there, I don't know about Cirrus, but Amira at least would be trying to help where she can with anyone that's around, like helping wounded, helping like, rebuild stuff, just assisting where she can.
Yeah.
Rebuilding is going to
seriously
be a
doing that.
very involved process because it's like industrial repair.
Well, helping where she can and like just search and destroy in terms of like fix things, fix people,
Sure.
help wounded,
Yeah.
wherever Chipper goes.
Okay. I thought Sage Feature I was gonna argue for helping me with this investigation roll, but it doesn't. It's only when recalling a piece of lore.
Yeah.
Scouring libraries for lore, not magical ink. 23!
23? Okay. You find probably about another 300 gold worth of magical ink.
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
You would also find a couple scrolls, spell scrolls specifically, of Featherfall and Mage Armor. About
Okay.
one of each.
Okay. Sweet. Da-
And you can do with those as you like.
Sweet. I'm gonna put that 300 gold in for my magical ink storage. That puts me at 1,090 gold worth of magical ink, which means
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Absolutely.
15. I'm gonna do some math. Everybody else ignore me as I try to figure out which spells I can take right now because I'm doing math.
Absolutely.
That's gonna take me a second.
So, Sirius and Amiras, you guys are kind of accompanying Chipper to the Grand Library, and it is a massive building. It is at least 4 stories tall and takes up about 2 entire city blocks in this building. Like, Chipper takes about 4 hours scouring for ink. That's how big it is. But on the way, I mean, there are plenty of people to kind of help out. A lot of the area outside the city core, where the tower, the library, the castle are, is residential and commercial districts, places with little strips of storefronts and homes and the like that have had much of their facades destroyed. So there are some kind of early morning ongoing efforts to at least like clad them up with curtains at the least, so people can kind of move into them and have a modicum of dignity that Emir is most certainly suited for as a flying a flying person.
Huh?
I have done the math. So with that amount of gold, I can take 2 9th level spells and 1 3rd level spell and have 40 gold to spare worth of magical ink. So that I'd like to take Time Stop, Ravenous Void, and Slow, if that's possible. And I'm gonna sit there, and that's what I'm gonna spend the rest of my time in the library doing. All of you can go. I'll just be here for a while.
How long does it take
Or
you?
at
Do you have a
least
thing
move
that
back and tat.
I do. I have a thing that lets me be able to scribe spells faster into my spell book. The time you spend to copy a spell into your spell books equals 2 minutes per spell level.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
So for a 9th level spell, that
takes 18
is
minutes.
18 minutes, and I need 2 of those. So
that's
times
a little under an
30
hour.
minutes. Yeah.
And you can actually add those directly to your sheet yourself. If you go to the compendium
Spell book.
page up on the top, There will be a little drop down for D&D Beyond, and if you
Yeah.
look in there for DDB spells, that will have them all, and you can just search them and drag them straight into your spellbook.
Oh, I can just drag them. Sweet. Okay, thank you. So I can cross these ones off the list. I still have more spells I want to take.
Absolutely.
But we will. That is my ravenous need for for magical ink sated for the time being, and that leaves me with 40.
Yeah. Is there anything else the three of you would like to do while you were in the city core and around the Grand Library?
Can you have a friend here, Chipper?
Here? No.
I'm thinking.
I
of
have
other
a I have a friend in further south, and by friend I mean my family. I'm pretty sure.
You moved your family to Bearton
Oh, that's right, I did, didn't I?
because you jacked them off
Yeah,
their
and
party
you met
cruise.
the family. Yep.
I seem to be missing spells in my spellbook. That's fine. I also do that for me.
I think the person with closest friends / family around is actually Claw, with his brother being in the capital and his dad
Yeah.
here.
Your dad being like 2 miles away, back in the
Yeah,
prison camp.
well, but yeah, we don't talk about that right now because it's not like his dad's gonna talk to him right now, especially.
We could, as a group, check in with Dralisar and see where we need it.
It's up to you. Yeah, I'm not with you
Not a
guys.
bad idea.
Oh, it's up to the three of us. What is Claw doing?
Yeah, what are Wick is working, so no, that does leave Claw.
Yeah, Wick is working.
I'm doing reverse engineering.
I'm doing spelling.
I think Claw is. I think he's probably just walking kind of the perimeter of the city, just making sure that there's nothing approaching. Maybe keeping an eye on Soleus, just make sure that there's like no suddenly encroaching army reinforcements or anything. I think he's just trying to get his mind off of everything that happened the day before, because he's a little frustrated with how it went. It went well, but it could have went better. A little bit mulling on how he kind of let a bit of his emotions to actually conflict. What's the word I'm looking for?
Get the better
During
of
his
him.
during his confrontation with his dad, he didn't keep as cool of a head as he should have, and he kind of just ran at him when he should have thought things through just a little bit better, as well as the person who's playing him. And then maybe you'll find like a spot to kind of, I think, mess around with some of his newer blood abilities that he gained from Shadow March, because again, Christina kind of forgot that he had it in the
Absolutely.
moment.
So you kind of take your walk. Stavarios is at a lower elevation than the steps and cliffs that the capital sits on, so you don't have like the greatest view towards it. But at this point, you've crossed over the Otail Mountains. You can definitely see the brass tower of Isildur reaching up into the clouds. That marks the might and the power of the capital, the seat of the Soleil's Empire. Even from this far away, though it is small on the horizon, it definitely marks it. But no armies encroaching, and you are able to find a spot, probably a little ways out, a short hike, kind of down into the lowlands, and you can kind of see the terrain where it's been kind of formed from swamp into more stable lowland. You can kind of see out towards the northern seaboard, the lowland marshes that still exist along it, the drooping trees that dot the landscape as it expands out, small towns miles off, days off even. It is a deceptively calming scape. Forgot to advance the day. It is the 14th of Brahm. But
I think when he does catch the sight of the brass tower, he does think of his brother. Just there is that worry that sits in the bottom of his stomach because his dad didn't really give him an answer that he liked when he asked him about Fergus. And he'll head back to camp. Maybe after he heads back to camp, check if there's any news on any progress of Inquisitor Bane's questioning. But that's about it.
okay. Well, as you are heading back, we will jump in with Wick. You are attempting to figure out what exactly this tank does. So,
Absolutely.
go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 30.
Right. 30. It takes you a little bit of time as you start to kind of piece it apart, finding out which panels can come off without destroying the mechanisms, which parts fit where, what they do, and you kind of realize this machine is not entirely related to the structuring of the gunblade. It's an amplifier of sorts. As you're kind of able to get it picked apart, you notice a couple spots where there is almost this pattern of runes that are overlaid into each other, like spell glyphs almost, that faint magic. Obviously,
Runes, you say?
not those kinds of runes.
Okay, all right.
And taking
I was
it
about to
apart
rope
kind of,
Sloth in on this.
yeah, taking them apart kind
Yeah,
of
well.
powers parts of it down. But eventually you kind of are able to strip it down to the core, where you find what can only be described as some kind of fully mechanical heart. It has valves and pressure systems and tubes that feed through it and reach out towards places where whatever fluid is pumped here would make contact with those various arcane circuits. It seems to be a kind of melding of hemocraft, blood magic, the sort that the Inquisitors do, and the more techno-magical facets of Imperial design. A blending of two schools of combat they are on the forefront of. And it starts to make sense how the Inquisitor was able to hit so hard. This thing was juicing him up. It was reacting with a second heart to something that beat within his own.
Well, it seems we should expect much more of this. Suppose I ought to make a report. Wick will draft up a written report to hand in to Dralazar.
Absolutely.
on how this works, and the likelihood that we are going to see more of these probably attached to the backs of the fucking Imperial Blood Hunters, because goddamn. Goddamn, Morty. Fuck. Why did I let this man cook?
It's cool, but dang it!
Wow, I really fucked us. Okay.
And it is worth noting. You notice how the mechanisms interact. Since you are not intimately familiar with Hemocraft, you aren't like completely sure how exactly it was juicing them up, but that's the only explanation.
Well, I know a way to fix that. I'm gonna get Claw in on this.
Okay.
So by the time you're kind of done, at the very least,
Wandering.
writing your report, Claw would probably be back from his walk.
Right, yeah. Wick's gonna like poke his head out of the little like workshop, or like the sort of armory station he's commandeered for this, and go find Claw. I've been tearing down that device that your father used so expertly against us, and I believe it's some kind of amplifier for blood magic. I could use your assistance.
Claw's gonna kind of look at him with a bit of a raised brow, but will nod him. Well, I guess I can take a look at it and see what I can surmise.
Yes, the core of it seems to be some kind of artificial heart. Very outside of my expertise, but I can sort of glean the inner workings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're walking and talking as
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
this time. Yeah. Artificial heart. I mean, the flow of Hemocraft is a major part of how it works. Makes sense they could use a fake one, but I need to look at it a little bit more, see what I can do. I was like, actually, like, oh shoot, what did I read about this? Usually most of the stuff comes to me naturally, so it's like, uh-oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is like an entirely new development.
But as you are looking at it, if you would like, give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Arcana advantage 15.
15.
Really? Okay. It's better than the 6.
You want a guidance for that?
Sure. Add a d4, right?
Yep.
18.
18. Okay. You kind of stop and take a minute to kind of look it over, and you're not entirely sure how this works, but you begin kind of thinking about the way Hemocraft manifests. Obviously, you've seen Dralazar's Hemocraft, and the order he hails from is the Order of the Ghost Slayers, which is kind of an almost paladin-like order of blood hunters. Their right manifests, or their blood manifests through a radiant light, which you've seen. You've seen him strike his halberd with blood that burns white hot like the sun. Obviously, you have your manifestation, which is through your transformation. It dawns on you that you're not intimately familiar with how your father uses Hemocraft.
Yeah, he never really used it around him because he was mostly at home on like office stuff whenever he was around. Never really fighting.
But you have come to know him to routinely have to take various forms of medicine. Never particularly standardized. he kept them to himself. It's hard to say what necessarily would necessitate that. It's possible his hemocraft is unstable, and so a device like this would help him normalize it. Or it's possible that there's something else going on that you're not entirely familiar with.
Now, Matt, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled pretty darn high on that investigation check. Would Wick be able to tell from the general construction of this thing if it's like a one-off prototype or if the production method for it has been refined to the point that there's likely more of them?
It is very much a prototype.
Okay.
There are a number of, which you as kind of an inquisitive tinkerer have kind of taken the time to look at it, which you would recognize as, structural redundancies. Kinks that haven't been ironed out, or additional kind of reinforcement, we don't want this one to break because we need to get results back on it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff that would be phased out in a more trimmed down production model.
That doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't more of them, but it's good.
It's
as
not
going in the
wide.
report.
Yeah, it's not going to be as widespread.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for your insight, Claw. I'll have to tell Jalazar about this immediately. It could have some implications for our assault on the capital.
Yeah,
I don't suppose you're comfortable inquiring with your father about the nature of this device.
I doubt he will say anything because he is so loyal to the Empire, but
Well, better you than the torturer, but if that's the way it has to be.
I could give it a shot, but I can't guarantee anything.
Whatever you feel comfortable doing, we ought to rest as best we can. We have a long road ahead of us.
My comfort, unfortunately, is not a priority when it comes to people's lives. I'll
Hey, Rich
see
here.
if I can.
Yeah, he's listening.
Hey, he's listening and not talking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see if I can get in for a questioning with him. Again, can't guarantee any info out of him, but I'll see what I can do.
Yes, very well. And Wick will go take his report over to Drow.
Absolutely.
And I guess Claw's gonna go see Dad. He was trying to avoid that, but oh well.
What if he pretended to be look, I had to get you here so that I can talk to you in person and have you in amicable terms. I need to help you bust out so that we can help the Empire. Blah, blah, blah. He's pretending to be with the Empire, but then
Oh no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
His one, Claw really sucks at anything charisma based.
but it's
Two.
the perfect moment for it.
Two, his dad knows when he's lying. It's a thing.
I need to go get your pack thing. How does it work? What do you need? Does it give you some sort of thing? I need to know how so I can transport it and not break it for you. And then he tells you, and it's thank you for your cooperation. And then it's the big reveal.
If I had a character that I felt more confident to be able to
No,
actually pull it
I
off,
know.
I
I'm
would.
just. I have no arms.
I don't think
No,
Claw's gonna
it's
be
fine.
able to give his dad the Silas treatment.
As Wick heads off to report, Claw, you head over to the prison camp where your father and a number of others are interred. Guard kind of help you?
I'm coming to ask Inquisitor Bane a few questions.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Claw will flash his inquisitorial badge just to show, at least he's
He means business.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Does it need to be private? Away from the other prisoners.
Private would be better. He'd more likely to speak when if it's just me and him, but if that is not possible, then I'll deal.
We'll have to have somebody nearby just in case, but I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
And after some time, they lead your father, one-handed, out from the prison, and kind of lead the two of you off a little bit and manacle him to like a tree. He's a little roughed up. Very clearly, he's had some time with the interrogators. Have you come to gloat? Your father is lowest.
Surprisingly, no. I'm not here to gloat. I know you're not a talker, but I do have a few things I would like to ask you. How are you feeling without your medicine? Holding up all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
I guess I never put two and two together, but are you unstable? Is that why you take it?
When you imbibe of the shadows, the blood manifests in many different ways. Mine manifests in a high tolerance for unstable chemicals. Mutagens.
Alright. It's like, oh, right, duh.
The medicine stabilizes it when I need to flush them. Wouldn't be well to be in polite society when my handshake could break an arm.
Yeah. I can understand that. Is that what that pack does? Carry your mutagens?
Do you intend to use it against our empire? Our home?
No. You know the blade was never my thing. Plus, I can barely figure out how that thing works just by looking at it.
It wouldn't work for you.
Figured as much.
It was a test model from Archmage Viscrum, the College of War. A second heart. The mortal form degrades. The more mutagens it takes in, no matter how resistant. So I used it to exceed that limit. Its purpose was to siphon my blood off and prevent a second mutagen from, well, killing me.
Cobble nod. Yeah, definitely not for me then.
I doubt your blood could even handle one mutagen.
You're right. But my blood has been able to handle a lot of other things instead. I met my mother.
And this gaze kind of shifts away.
Why lie about how I came to be? It wouldn't have mattered.
What would it change to know?
Honestly, nothing, but I just can't help but be curious.
Curious.
Knowledge, like so many of those dang tutors you tried to hire to get me to read a book properly, try to beat into me, is important for an inquisitor, isn't it not?
There are a number of very dark truths that lie at the center of our family, Seath. If you truly want to know them, well, I won't deny you them. The Banes have been a very prestigious family throughout our time in the Empire. Your ancestors fought alongside Vandigan, and trained under the first Inquisitors. It was an expectation that we produce greatness. That we produce a line of talented Inquisitors. Your brother's not related to you by blood.
Paul's gonna pause for a second. And his brows furrow. It's but the thing that goes through his brain is but Vrak did the family spell, and he was able to see him.
He's received
You
my
lying?
blood and transfusion as part of his
There it is.
ministrations.
There it is.
But when I married your mother... No, not your mother. When I married my wife, I was unable to give her child. And the way the mutagens affected my blood and training, the Bane bloodline is not compatible with human women anymore. So imagine my surprise when it was compatible with a beast, the beasts of Shadow March. Imagine my shame, the expectation that I rear a mighty blood hunter to bring honor to a new generation of the Banes. Not only could I do it with someone else from our social class, but the first child I could father bears the eternal mark of Shadow March.
The phrase "fresh child" would instill anger in me. I don't know about you.
I'll say Claw's tail is flicking back and forth as he's kind of just processing.
I have no misgivings about my standing as a father. I have no misgivings about my standing as the heir to the Bane name. But as a Bane, there are expectations of me. I suppose there aren't any more. I'm a prisoner. I failed my empire. I failed the service that is expected of me. I gave a son who is not even my son over to the first promise of salvation.
What do you mean by that?
The Praetor promised that if we vested our faith in him, as we had vested in Vandigan's dreams so long ago, that he would be able to destroy Atropus. I believe he can stop Atropus, but I am not so blind as to miss the heresy in that. But where I am now, I'd probably do it all again. All the
Claw's gonna
same.
get a little bit. Claw's gonna walk a little closer to him. Kind of look him up and down. He probably looks pretty defeated right now, right?
Yeah, this is probably the lowest you've ever seen him.
Because he's sitting down, right?
No, he's standing. He's fucking manacled
He's
to a
standing
tree.
tied to a tree.
Let me have my fun.
You know, if this was, God, maybe a couple years ago, I'd probably be fighting on your side right now. Helping you. Maybe not directly, because back then I still hated your guts. I don't hate you, but I don't like you either. But we're gonna need every loyal soldier once we free the Empire. Maybe you can make up for the few shitty things you did throughout your life and make that our name something worthwhile again. Maybe we both can. We still have time. Ka will kind of slowly shift to his beast, well, his new beast form. I've learned a lot the past. How long has Claw been with the new crew? Been with the crew for? Been with Brack and Co?
Almost a little over a year.
I've learned a lot the past year. It's been a wild ride. Revelations, battles, a lot of life and death situations. It puts a lot of things in perspective. I'll make the Bane name great, but not because you want to, but because I can. And I'm gonna save Ghastly from whatever fucked up shit you gave to him, the Praetor to. And then we're gonna go kill that moon. If you wanna help, be my guest. But if you wanna mope like a child, like I used to, fine. Just don't get in my way.
For the time being, it's all yours.
Trying to think of any other questions I might have for him. Fuck. This is Christina. Any other questions you guys can think of for his dad before?
How are you gonna survive out of that fucking beatdown? Oh, just then.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, I just.
Anything about the capital?
Also, this was a really good scene for you, and I don't want to like ruin it by having you do a Columbo. Like one more thing.
More things.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Anything about the capital that you'd want to know? Miss Hilda?
I think if there's anything about the capital, the other guys probably already got it from him.
Okay.
Because it looks like he's already been questioned. This is more personal questions for Claw and to help Wick with the contraption.
Yeah.
Alright then. If you want to talk further, just request a meeting for me, with me, from the guards. They'll send word. If not, I may or may not see you later.
Well,
You know how war is.
you know where I'll be.
And then Claw will wrap up the questioning, and head back to try to find Wick to update him on what info he learned.
Absolutely.
Heavily specialized gear.
Kind of motion for the guy who's been kind of keeping watch, leaned up on his pike, has been like trying to roll like the world's shittiest hand-rolled cigarette, and kind of call out to him, and he just fucking drops off. He's like, ah, fuck! Yeah, alright, I'll take him back. Come on, Mr. Inquisitor. Always wanted a boss when he fucks around.
Claw still like half beast form, like looks at him with a raised brow.
That's some class, man.
What?
Nothing. Just,
Look, when this is all over, I get to go back to patrolling the low streets of fucking Bjergton. Let me have some fun, goddammit.
I guess, just be careful with the goods.
Always am. Able to kind of find your way back to Wick and explain that it was an incredibly specialized device.
Mm-hmm. For Dad and pretty much Dad alone.
Well, that's good news, but it does mean there could be more things like it issued to people of importance. We should
Yes,
keep
but-
an eye out.
Yes, and if we spot any other devices that even look similar, maybe targeting them could cause a chain reaction of unstable proportions and come out to benefit us greatly. Because mutagens are...
Are we still trying not to kill people? Because that sounds
That's
excessively fatal.
true. Hold on, sorry. That was me getting excited for a second. My bad.
I mean,
I was like, "Ooh, easy target."
You were just in half demon form. It makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I like where your head's at, but I'm just trying to keep things in perspective here.
Maybe disabling, not necessarily making them go boom, would be
Sure.
beneficial. All right.
As you
Thought
guys
still
are
processing.
As you guys are having this conversation, the other three kind of return from their excursion.
Don't understand why you can't just let me have a sip, Chipper. It's just ink. It's not that bad. I can have a little taste. No?
Every gold is worthwhile. Every drop is worth gold, and every drop means potentially another spell that I can copy down.
Kipper, she's a
Fine.
princess. You're not going to make her want it any less by telling her it's expensive.
No, it's fine. I know this money shit's important to you all, so...
For me, it's not even about the monetary value. It's the fact that I'm exactly 10 gold of ink short of getting another spell that I need. So, it's worth it. I'm saving up. It's not even the gold value of it. It's the fact that in this economy, ink is hard to come by. It is the rarity of the item and not so much the monetary value of it.
But you've never questioned how it tastes at all?
No.
Weirdo.
I mean, I have to imagine Chipper's done the thing where she, dabs her quill on her tongue to,
Yeah, to get, lube it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's regular ink, not magical ink.
To be fair, she has a phantom quill these days. She doesn't even write her own shit into her stuff anymore.
Forbidden iced tea.
She doesn't even write her own spells anymore. The reason why she can do, a spell level every 2 minutes is because she's got a like an inkjet for a magical quill that does it for her.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You think magical quills is one that just goes like a
I
printer?
imagine, yeah, exactly. The inkjet printers that go.
That's right.
The sound of progress.
That's my headcanon. Welcome.
Great.
You are all reunited. Sans Frack, who is still doing medical work.
Oh man, I hate revelations.
That seemed fairly anodyne. Is there something else?
A few things. I had a couple questions for Dad while I was there, because it's like, fuck it, might as well. He was surprisingly cooperative. I was expecting up a bit of a more fight, but God, he looked pathetic.
Were they of tactical interest?
Hold on.
a bit of time to lose Claw to the mute zone.
Sorry, I got dinner delivery. Give me a second.
Pog.
Think about how your dad feels. He's not getting dinner. He's a
That's
prisoner.
right.
Show some respect.
I need to go
Hell
piss.
yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna think about
Thanks for
Claw's
sharing.
dad while I'm gonna go think about Claw's dad while I
Yeah.
piss.
Give me a break.
Alright,
Break time.
We're not on break yet.
No, it's fine.
He doesn't care.
Well, the biggest thing is it turns out my brother's not technically my brother.
Oh.
But
Oh.
with the she'll stop motioning like
Yes,
somatic
we.
components
Here's like
I-
cover her hands.
for.
My visible confusion also led to my dad explaining that for my brother to gain his blood hunter abilities, they transfused my father's blood into him. Which is why Vikaram was able to pick him up on using his spell.
Makes
I
sense.
was- Technically, somehow, I was supposed to be the prodigal star son, but it didn't pan out for one reason or another. Because apparently, Dad couldn't put it out with my stepmom. So that was a thing.
That's dreadful.
I don't know if it was. I might have dodged a bullet because I am kind of glad I am not related to her. So I'll take that. Anyway. It's a whole thing. I might discuss it later after everything has blown over a bit more. But, Ooh.
You look like you get
it-
some rest. You just look like exhausted mentally.
A little bit. I just... Things look a bit different in my brain now than they were before, which I'd rather know the truth than believe lies. But anyway, how did the ink search go, Chip?
Not too bad, not too bad. I've copied down all the spells that I need. It's been a fruitful excursion. Though it's funny because I still need more magical ink.
Well, at least you made a big dent from the sound of it.
Not that big. I've crossed out 3 out of the 1, 2, 4, 5. And she's literally pulling out the spell book and counting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
6,
Abacus
7, 8.
directly associated with ink.
11 spells I needed and wanted, and I've crossed out 3. So, I didn't even make halfway of a dent.
Oh. We'll probably find more once we get to Soleus.
God, I hope so.
It's a big enough city, Chip. I'm pretty sure there's
Well-
going to be a lot.
I mean, there's also the apocalypse happening. You know what I mean?
True.
I'm sure all the usual ink vendors are not, are not
Everything's
selling.
going toward the war.
Exactly. I doubt the shops are still open.
Well, they are probably asleep.
That's true.
Speaking of, has anyone seen Vikaram?
It is at this exact moment that he returns.
Speak of the paladin.
Hey, there he is.
I have a summoning spell with my mouth. She'll just start like poking her tongue.
she just starts saying Rulamso's name over and over.
How has the morning treated you all?
It's been fine. Found ink for Chipper. Quo talked to his dad.
I thoroughly
Questioned.
investigated the mysterious device.
Wick surely investigated the mysterious device. You know, how fair are you?
Well enough. The injuries that could not be resolved through rest and basic healing. Considerable, but not insurmountable. Those that I have attended to are making a not speedy recovery, but a steady one. All the same.
Very well. Were the casualties heavy? I'm somewhat ashamed I didn't think to ask.
Casualties, no, less so. Both sides, though intent on defending to the last, are very well aware what happens to the dead. An accidents happen, but generally resolve themselves on the battlefield, so nothing to be done there. More grievous near-mortal injuries than anything else.
That's good. Perhaps a gesture towards reunification eventually, if the soldiers are going to pull their punches like that.
Well, it's a practical matter as well, now isn't it? I'm not entirely certain it's a gesture born of goodwill so much as it is out of self-preservation.
As someone who counts himself a pragmatist, it doesn't make much difference to me. What's good for us is good for everyone.
Well, from the perspective of the rank-and-file soldier, having an unconscious person that is no longer attacking you is far superior than an undead, unpredictable, shambling corpse that can turn one side completely against the other in mere moments. Even those that might see the practicality in having an undead rise in the enemy's ranks, and so Discord would quite easily see that once the opposition has been handled in that regard, they now face a stronger foe, one harder to put down as well.
You know, you raise a good point. We should perhaps confer with your brother about preparing some non-lethal armaments for attacking capital.
Oh, Dralazar, yes.
Yes. Who did you think I meant?
I don't know. I don't have a brother.
Come on, Wick, it's not like you to not know Rack's family. It's obviously got his sons.
What? No, what? How many times must I explain?
She has the stupidest fucking grin on her face.
I am far too drained for these tedious conversations at the moment.
Rakaram, you
please-
must understand my comprehension of biological relations is limited and extremely strained at the moment, given what Claw has just been discussing with us.
And he turns towards Claw. And what was that precisely? Well, Claw's muted actually, so never mind. That's
Rats.
not-
While,
Claws BRB'd. So as you turn around, there is a kind of bell that rings out in the distance. You can faintly hear someone calling, "Lunch is served! Come get it or don't!"
Wick, what did he say?
The meal is ready.
Emer is, as an aside, Emer is very, like, just on Rax's shoulder, so it's more like a tink, 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 but every tink is a heal, just a little.
He's not. He hasn't taken any damage. He's
No,
just,
but he said he was like exhausted. So anything else?
no. Yes, let me finish the sentence. He's not damaged or anything. He is tapped of all magical energy.
Yeah.
He's completely drained and exhausted in that sense, and there's nothing to do for that. But wait,
But it would feel nice if you had a friend that was just giving you little heal blessings.
he really doesn't. He
Fuck
doesn't
you.
like it. He doesn't like it when you're on his shoulder. He's told you this.
Wasn't even on him, just like fluttering next to him, just
It's
patting
more like
his
he's
shoulder in
using your
support.
shoulder as like a speed bag,
No,
but doing it with positive energy.
just patting his fucking shoulder in support. Fuck you guys.
I didn't
Stop
do
that.
anything.
Whatever floats your boat.
He actually looks at her for a moment, like confused, like, when did she learn what she gets what boats are? All right, hey, progress.
Hey.
We've been on several.
Yeah,
Flying,
but even
non-flying.
on a boat, literally on the boats, you were asking like, is this a boat? Is that a boat? What's a boat? I don't understand.
Yeah,
When
it's
we
been
leave the boat, are we still on the boat?
No,
This is progress. This is
Yeah.
this is good.
exactly.
Claw, what do you have to report regarding your father?
Well, he looks pretty defeated for one, because he actually talked to me without any kind of protest, which was very surprising to me, at least. Learned a little bit about the contraption he had.
Being
Very specialized early prototype used to enhance his blood hunter abilities.
so not necessarily related to the blade itself.
Yes.
Yes,
The
not
core of it
necessarily.
was a artificial heart.
Is it practical for anybody else to use?
No one but him.
Wick, do you think that you could rejigger it so that it could, as an artificial secondary heart, help somebody wounded?
It's a little bit out of my area of expertise.
See if there's anyone else that can grab that.
It's certainly something you could ask around the camp about.
I just asked him a few personal questions, which came with a few revelations, but nothing to turn the tide in the war, mind you, but
Very
interesting.
well.
So you know how you used that spell to help me look at my blood relatives, right?
Yes, I'm cool.
And we saw my brother, right?
I did, rather clearly.
He's not my biological brother.
Interesting.
From what I could get from my father, he transfused some in his process to become an inquisitor and a blood hunter. He used my father's blood as a catalyst.
Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense.
Does Brack really think it makes sense?
He, sure. He's not that invested.
Yeah.
He
One-
basically pulled the tablecloth out from under him, and then none of the plates moved. Nothing has changed. Like there's no
Yeah.
actual difference that matters between
I
the
think at
information
this
before and now.
I think the correct response from him whenever something crazy and magical happens at this point in the campaign is just for him to be like, okay.
Brack,
Okay, magic.
Yeah.
Vrak's response or Wick's response?
I mean,
Brax.
either. Well, Wick is like more intensely interested in like the facts of the matter, but like Vrak does not seem very curious in the arcane aside from hitting it.
Vrak turns to the camera and goes, "Well, that had just happened."
Oh, stop.
Oh no. I hate it. Vrak, who's
I'm
aware
back,
of the
baby.
fourth
I'm
wall,
back.
is terrifying.
Sorry about that. I'm
You
back.
can never,
Hi.
you can never have non-side profile Vrak. It's like Yoshi. It's no good.
Are we on break or?
No,
No,
we're
still
still.
going.
No, we're
No,
still going.
Okay.
One.
Sorry, I just got back.
I mean, someone
Is
could
it-
argue, well, that the spell pinged as family because it still is family. Blood doesn't matter.
No, it is the blood. It is quantifiably based upon the blood relation.
Alright, I won't fucking roll a wisdom check for amazing fucking life lessons. That's fine.
I get what you mean, Emer, but he's still my brother. To
Yes,
me,
no.
at least.
Whatever philosophical statement you want to make about the nature of family and love and such, that's all perfectly fine. But the magic does not. It is a blood-based spell. It's a form of divination based upon ancestry. These two things are separate.
Yeah.
Sirius, pass the soup.
Oh, sure. He does not like that. He looks a little uncomfortable. He passes the soup.
That and I have learned some of the potential side effects to being an inquisitor like myself or my father. That we might want to put on kind of the sign-up registry.
I don't follow.
Long story short, Dad can't have kids with normal people anymore.
What do you mean by normal people?
You know how he's a human, right? And
I suppose.
he tried to have a kid with my stepmom, and it didn't work anymore. So he went to Shadow March and had a kid with a tiefling, and that was the only way it could work.
Tieflings are still normal people.
I mean, those touched by the stuff that's on Shadow March is what I mean. People who have been touched by bestial blood, as he put it.
Chipper, can you pass the earplugs, please?
It's a lot of weird logical stuff. Something with the way mutagen works with his blood. It's because like I don't really want to talk about this anymore.
If you ever want to have kids, I suppose that will be something you will have to consider logistically. But
Yeah, we also might want to, give that a heads up to other folks who are in my line of work, because no one mentioned anything like that before. So
I suppose it's sort of an occupational hazard. But regardless,
Yeah.
Is there anything else pressing to be attended to? Any other information worth discussing? Or...
nope, not over dinner. So I was just gonna take a mouthful of whatever food is in front of him.
Yeah, it's like a soup and mash thing.
That's fine.
Also, it's lunch.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, if you'll excuse me then, I must consult with Drelladar about the next steps.
right. I won't keep you.
He stands up and he sort of looks like passes a glance around everyone and then nods, trying, I guess, to non-verbally confer that anyone that wants to join for this certainly can. It's not private, but it's something that has to be taken care of. So
Yeah, she'll.
flaps his thighs as he gets up.
I mean, Wick could probably join because he probably has info with
Anyone that
the
wants to.
chapter.
I will come with just because I'm curious and want to be
Yeah,
involved.
same.
I just want to be involved.
I'm here
Okay, yeah,
too.
well, okay, we'll all go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Carl will just down his bowl.
Team meeting.
Oh, good. So,
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
indeed. He'll lead the way to Drow's, who I assume is also skipping meals and conferring with others.
Absolutely. You guys head over to the kind of command tent, and that is where we're going to take our break.
Hey!
So we will be back shortly. See you then.
Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato, io ho trovato l'invasor, partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire. Seppellire sulla montagna, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire sulla montagna, sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna, sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano, morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato, io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire. seppellire sulla montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 e le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato, io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, e mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, e mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire. Seppellire sulla montagna, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 e le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato, io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, e mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, e mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellir. Seppellire sulla montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellir. Seppellire sulla montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellir. Seppellire sulla montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la Stamattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellir. Seppellire sulla montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. Seppellire sulla montagna sotto l'ombra d'un bel fior. E le genti che passeranno. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. Questo fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Questo fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Io ho trovato l'invasor. Partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via.
Yeah.
So, we return. You guys have had a nice little soup and mash for lunch, and you are making your way now to the command tent where Dralazar and another number of kind of lower-ranking advisors have gathered and are going over maps and the like. And Dralazar kind of peers up from it as you guys pile in. And oh, good. I was preparing to send for you. At this rate, we have a few regular elements that are just making sure everything's cleared up and doing some repairs and the like. We will likely have to leave a small detachment behind here just to prevent the prisoners from rearming and falling on our flank as we advance. How are you all holding up?
Haven't slept in several days, but we're doing good.
As well as to be expected in these trying times.
Good.
There is information from the prisoner Bane that we will go over afterwards, but for the time being, what is our next move?
From here, we will advance south to Bushankt, where an element from the Lord's Alliance has managed to seize the town and serve it as a staging ground for our advance to Isildur. We've been going over some expected targets there within, and what resistance we can expect. But while we are staging in Bushankt to rest and fully prepare for the battle ahead, our spies will infiltrate and secure certain routes into the city proper that we may not spend a longer period of time in a protracted siege. Ideally, our attack on the capital will be more surgical. We'll have our full element to bear upon it. As it is likely to be the final battle of this campaign, it will be everything on the table. The biggest targets we have are the College of War Magic and its Archmage Visgrim, who, as we gather, has in recent time taken to augmenting mages with an assortment of more technical gear, not unlike that which was seized from the Inquisitor Bane, though I would have to imagine some different form. Then there is the matter of the Dragon Killer guns that have defended the city for long stretches of time. Those will have to be put out of commission so that our advancing forces are not besieged by cannons that could level a city. There are also manners of various squares that could serve as further staging grounds to allow a proper incursion towards the Brass Tower, where it is very likely that the Praetor stands. However, with the Brass Tower comes likely the most dangerous element of this battle, the Archchronologist, one Madeline Schwartz. I frankly don't know what to expect. from battle with the chronologist. For all we know, for all I know, in my long service as both an inquisitor and a political mover, Madeline predates any existing Imperial staff and is, by all accounts, human. So, her mastery of chronology speaks to itself, much less the rumors of her precognition. That she is able to see the future and still stands with the Empire is troubling for our cause, but is a notion that does not leave this tent for the sake of morale.
She could just be seeing the wrong future.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how precognition works, necessarily.
Nor must we for our purposes. So, College of War, and if not the entire College of Chronology, then its presiding officiate. What other key targets must we liberate or otherwise handle?
Well, there is the Inquisitor's Barracks, which will likely have arms caches by which we may properly outfit ourselves and our soldiers through the battle, as well as a number of cavalry depots that are expected to be filled with lumen that might allow us to turn infantry divisions into cavaliers. We have a number of people we can split up to throw directly at it, striking at key targets. Needless to say, it is going to be all hands on deck.
For probably obvious reasons, I'd like to request to be on the team assaulting the guns.
Of course.
Not the chronologists, I thought that might be.
The chronologists are within the brass tower. The actual assault on the tower and on Madeline herself will have to be part of our attack on the Praetor.
Excuse me then. Excusing the final assault, what are the key areas of attack that we should focus on? The gardens, the College of War, the cavalry depots, anything else? I imagine Vandigan, whatever is holding him, is also in Brass Tower.
Yes. The Brass Tower is the ultimate target. Beyond that, most of our battle is to simply secure strategic elements, places where arms are stored. Also, to serve as footholds as we make that attack. Securing these various staging points give us rallying points by which the wounded can regather, seek treatment, and redeploy.
And then make the final assault, yes. So 3 key locations before the Brass Tower.
4.
4. What's the 4th?
The Inquisitor's Lodge.
Yes. Okay.
I know that place pretty well. Or I would hope Claw would.
Yeah.
I sure hope you would. It's in your name.
What?
Inquisitor.
Her name is not. His name is not Inquisitor. That is his title.
But yeah.
Is your name Princess?
I. Maybe.
Nonetheless.
You tell us.
We will be splitting forces into strategic teams to take these elements once we have a clear route into the city. Everyone who can is to deploy for them. This does include Bahalzul, who has requested to deploy.
Have you come to an arrangement with him then?
Yes, he is to be watched by, at the very least, 2 elements of the Concord's own, that if he steps out of line, he can be put down. But his terms have been agreeable.
So see fit.
Another rumbling that does cause me some concern is that elements of the Atropal cult have been noted in the wilds around Isildur, outside its walls. It's very likely they are also attempting to make their ingress, so it is entirely possible that this is not simply a pure force against pure force combat, but a confusing morass.
Lest I be accused of stating the obvious, has there been any sign whatsoever of strayed Krantz novels?
None that I have received.
I can only assume he'll rear his head sooner or later.
Indeed.
Should a contingency be placed to the south of Isildur to try to repel any such cultists, it would thin our numbers some, but it might keep things running a bit more smoothly.
Indeed, that is a consideration I have had, and I have begrudgingly made contact with some old foes of the Empire, namely the Allfeld Shipping Company and the pirate lords of Port Atreides. At the very least, having ships along the coast to keep watch prevents much of those diversions, and ideally would draw the ire of the dragon killers. Having them shoot at what are effectively still our enemies is preferable, to put it lightly.
We will consider then the flank is watched, but not hold our breath. The line holds then.
Indeed.
Anywhere in particular you want or need us.
Isn't there a bunch of capital people who are super sleepy that we have to?
Yes.
Well?
To the understanding that I still have, and hopefully our spies will be able to elucidate, much of the populace of the capital slumbers in homes and on the street, under the spell of the Quori.
Then you leave that to me.
I shall do just that. I trust in you.
She nods.
Then we'll take to the streets.
Yes.
Very well, we will try to focus on handling the populace while the other teams go about their business.
Of course. And orders have been already given to individual commanders with how they are to handle the populace should they awaken, for either possessed by the Quori or of their own faculties. I would ask a lot of you to take specific targets of the 4 listed to have that extra guarantee on their security.
So you don't want us to patrol the streets while the other teams handle the other. Look, where do you want us?
On these targets.
Which one?
Whichever ones you feel best. However you would like to do it. If you all want to take one, or if you want to split yourselves among the targets to grant a little more security to their capture.
Well, I've already made my choice.
Indeed.
Oh,
Wick wants the guns.
I had not considered that we might split apart.
Won't we? I mean, won't we do better together?
You would, yes.
I believe in a mass offensive like this, it would be better for us to distribute our talents.
Maybe once our tasks are done, meet up somewhere in the city to finish up the fight.
Oh, certainly.
Hopefully, by the end of this first assault, we will have an operating base that we can raise the Concord's flag over, from which to mount the assault on the brass tower.
Yes, that part was never a question, but to tackle the individual targets apart had not crossed my mind.
I'm trusting you all with this. You know your individual strengths better than I do.
Would there be any chance of Emer being able to know, with her pact with the Eastern Court, if I was to wake up the citizens, would they be like woken up as if things were removed if they were under Quori control? Or is it just as is, wake up?
You're not totally sure. You're not necessarily like entirely familiar with how Quori possession works. It's possible they wake up like they'd just taken a really long nap. It's possible that the Quori control is a little deeper, and there's some of that to be considered.
I would. Don't want this being character. Yeah,
Yeah.
character. Well, I would think, Princess, that the most efficient means of rousing the populace would be to defeat the seat of power that the Quori sits upon, to break their spell at the source, rather than to go about individually, person by person, breaking it, you see.
I was thinking of breaking it all at once, but yes, that may be best.
So, perhaps your talents would be best suited towards one of these targets we are speaking of.
Targets first, then the people.
Targets first, then the tower, then the people will wake
Yes.
naturally.
Yes. Okay. Well, Wick, you want to handle the firearms naturally.
I would like to assist with possibly leading the assault on the Inquisitorial building. I know that area very well.
Okay, that makes sense as well. We'll need somebody on the towers, the tower of the War Mages.
I believe possibly either myself or perhaps Chipper would be most suited for that.
Yes,
You both could go.
that makes sense.
Well, having it. The point being that having at least one of you around with magical matters to attend to makes sense. Yes. Any
preferences, I suppose. Chipper, Page, any.
Um,
The silence is deafening. I mean, I genuinely don't mind going at all.
I'm asking for preference, not resignment.
Well, it's not exactly resignment. I'm just thinking of who would be more helpful on the tower and who would be more helpful on the ground, so to speak. And,
Well, everyone will be going to the tower.
sure.
That is the final
tower.
target.
The War Mage Tower, not the Brass
Yeah.
Tower.
Right.
Yeah.
The College of War Mages. Yes.
It might be worthwhile for me to go just because. Actually, am I familiar with the War Mage's Tower? I should be, right? Like, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you know of it. Go and give me
Yeah.
a history check to see how
Okay.
familiar you are.
Okay. History normal 26.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty familiar with the War Mages. It is likely going to be filled with wizards, but also likely armed wizards. War magic is the blending of martial power and magic, so
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to go, I would rather not go alone. War mages are scary. They're like mages with muscles, and they're scary.
Hey, I just wanted to quickly chime in and add a character here. Don't you have like some kind of standing backdoor arrangement
I
with
do.
the War Mages?
It is. They have a favor to call in for me. They have yet to call in that favor.
At any
That would be the
given
fucking
point,
time, wouldn't it?
Yeah. At any point, they can just teleport her.
Yeah.
Amir's now imagining Chipper with muscles.
They are the wizards that can.
I'm not sure if bench pressing exists here, but they're they're the mages that have brawn to back up their brains, so to speak.
She's not listening.
And as I said, I do have an outstanding arrangement with the war mages. As in, at any point they can ask for my presence, and I will be teleported to their tower anyway. And well, they did specify it was for odomancy purposes, so they would like me to use odomancy divination. So it is, they cannot call on me to help them fight for them, only for, they specified for interrogation purposes.
I'm not certain how ironclad that contract may be. Regardless, if the War Mages are as potent as you say, perhaps it's best that I join you there to provide support and
Yeah,
keep
I
from
mean,
getting too close. Helicopter
yeah.
fire.
They will walk up to me and put a sword in my face. That is what they will do.
It'll be a magical sword, but it will hurt regardless.
Not on my watch, they will not.
Oh, thanks, Rat.
Cirrus, is there anything that speaks to you particularly?
Could you list them again, Billy, please?
Why are you speaking like that? What's wrong with you, Sears?
We have firearms that Wick is interested in, the inquisitorial caches that Claw will be leading, the war mages that it seems me and Chipper will be attending to, and the stables, the cavalry depots, as it were. Truth be told, well, no, it doesn't matter.
Go on.
I could use a new saddle, that's all. Had it in mind. Brought it to mind.
Any
Oh.
particular saddle?
If anybody is going to handle the cavalry and they see a good saddle, just keep me in mind, that's all. That's all.
I could go, and deal with that, I suppose.
Are you... I do not like the idea of any of us being split further apart.
Want someone to go with somebody?
I still haven't delegated a place yet, so please allocate me as you see fit.
thought you of all people would be quite interested in the notion of brawny wizards.
It crossed my mind, but well, I'll just assume. Ask me where I'd like to go.
Where would you like to go, Princess?
The Brawny Wizards. But if I'm needed elsewhere, I'm more than happy to be delegated elsewhere. Don't want anyone to be left behind. Big fear of mine. Big fear.
It does not sit well with me either, but I am not here to delegate and tell all of you what to do. I'm here to ask where you think you would be best suited.
We're past the princess pretense. You can. We're friends. Please, just help me help you.
This is not a princess thing. This is for all of us. This is for all of you. It's not for you specifically. I am not ordering any of you to do anything at any point. I only have requests.
I will assist with the Brawny Wizards unless anyone has any objections and wants to have extra backup.
I mean,
No
if you go with
objections.
Wick, you could get shot.
That is tempting. Wick,
You
who's
could
going with you at
attempt
the
to
moment?
catch a bullet the size of the building. I know you're
And-
quite keen on that.
Who is going with you, Wick?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No one as of yet.
All right,
Aside from
done.
our
Dusted.
soldiers.
We shall go together. Have fun with the wizards. Send a postcard.
Hmm.
Yes, Cirrus.
I suppose if we're all pairing up,
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Why would you say it out loud?
Oh, sorry. My bad. I'll be quiet. They don't know.
Yes, Cirrus.
Stop.
if we're all pairing up, I guess I could go with if you wouldn't mind my company, Inquisitor Claw. I could go with.
As long as you're comfortable.
Certainly.
Very well. If things are settled, we'll take some time to further discuss detachments for each of these. We will have you all.
We will consider sorting
Of course.
Everyone's puzzled.
This has caught me a little on surprise. I had not thought that we might be broken up like this.
Mere moments ago, we were saying that we were all in this together.
But for goodness sake, in truth, I've grown accustomed to working with these people, but certainly the necessity of attacking multiple targets at the same time does require us to put aside some of these preferences. And
I mean, it's not the first time we split up as a group to fight in the capital.
that
Have we been in the capital before, or are you talking about before us?
Before you.
Oh,
before you, yes, we did something along these lines once before.
We were fine then, we'll be fine now.
At the end of it, we will stand victorious atop the brass tower.
One moment. The firearms. The dragon killers. How do they function?
To my understanding, they are massive artillery pieces.
Are they purely mechanical in nature?
Yes.
Which of you have the disintegrate spell?
I do.
I also do.
you had to ask.
I was aware that Chipper did, but I was not sure if Paige did as well.
I believe the sorceress Sir Lamso also bears it.
Of course she does. She's perfect.
Well,
That might be valuable. While certainly we do not wish to destroy too many, it may be necessary for one or two of these cannons to turn to ash.
Or at the very least, for their firing mechanisms to do so.
Right. That may be a good way of handling the issue. And presently, nobody is currently going with Wick, which I would rather be the case.
Is Emir not
Yes.
going?
No, the princess wished to, quote, see the brawny wizards, unquote, at the War College.
However, I was tempted with the purpose of catching a bullet, and I feel like I'd probably go
Bullets,
there.
As Wick said, the bullets are larger than you are.
I reiterate.
Which?
Emir,
Yeah.
I'm just a bit worried about, your survivability rate, going against a bullet, that's bigger than you are.
I can make myself bigger.
I mean,
To my understanding, it would be a bullet about the size of... almost as large as a house.
I suppose I should
probably-
instead.
Probably
Make
not
sure I can
quite
catch
that large. They're meant
smaller
to
ones.
kill dragons.
Yes, they're not configured for anti-personnel usage. I doubt they can even be aimed at us.
But
fun.
an installation like that is likely defended by a number of riflemen. If you're content to catch smaller bullets.
He's fought plenty of riflemen by now. A brawny wizard is an entirely new experience.
This is true.
So conflicted. Personal improvement or brawny wizard. Personal
I mean,
improvement.
how many? There is also Inquisitors where I'm going, and I don't know if you fought any actual Inquisitors besides me and Dad.
Look, it doesn't really matter that much. We can decide later.
We're deciding now. That is what.
We're deciding now. Okay, fine, sure.
guys, Matt explained to us how this was gonna work weeks ago.
And we decided it weeks ago too.
Yeah, and then in character, different things happen.
I'm just saying, you've had time to think about it.
Yeah, and now we've got actual fucking choices, and what I have to decide in character would want to be picked. Can't just be like, oh no, she'd want to go with me.
Yes, you can.
Fuck you. No, I won't. Plus, people are already going with the person that I was foretold.
No.
No.
You-
We're talking about it now. We are
We're trying to, we're trying to settle Seer swapping with Emir right now, so
Okay.
that Emir goes with Claw and Cirrus goes with Wick, because that's
I
you
see.
could disintegrate pieces of the gun.
Yes, I see now. Okay, thank you. I shouldn't be playing Final Fantasy. We're playing D&D.
You shouldn't.
What?
Isn't disintegrate
I'm
single
gonna-
target though? Would that work?
Yeah, you
You
can
can
use it to
target,
like target specific parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Drylazar
Yeah,
said,
I'm
the firing
gonna smack
mechanism.
you, girl.
Where is Claw going?
The
The
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
Let's beat up some wizards. And people.
They're not wizards.
Ah, I can't win. I cannot
Blood mages.
win. Blood mages. There you go.
All right, so
They're a bunch of freaks.
we have Candlewick and Cirrus heading to the Dragon Killers, Inquisitor Claw and Princess Emir heading to the Inquisitor's Lodge, and Rakaram and Chipper heading for the College of the War Mages.
That sounds like it.
All right. Well, rest up. We'll head for Pushenkt. Well, you all have an airship. You could head for Pushenkt now if you want to settle in,
Let's.
find accommodations there, and prepare for the battle to come.
I mean, we don't even need the airship. I can just teleport us there.
Well, we're not leaving. We could bring troops and supplies with us and prepare them there.
Indeed. Very well. Victory is close at hand, my friends. I'll kind of like give you a little hand over the heart salute and see you guys off. And we're not done yet, but we are going to end the stream here. But before we do, I have one important note, or two important notes. The first is that we will not be streaming next week because I have a lot of prep to do for this. The second is that you guys level up.
Yay!
Oh shit,
I
that's
needed this.
big.
I needed this level up super bad.
This is big for me. This is big for the chit.
So,
Because
we-
18th
Me too.
we
18th level means I start getting to cast free spells, which is gonna be big dig.
That's right. So, we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the assault on the capital. But until then, thank you all for coming to watch, and we will see you then. Good night. Cops are not human.